Hello, welcome back to another video on my thoughts on the current comic market. I'm shooting this video mid-September 2021 in case you stumble across this later. Now that we have a good 3 to 4 months of downturn in the market, I think it is clearer to me about the new participants in this hobby in the past year. A lot has been discussed here on my channel as well as other channels about new participants from other hobby, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, baseball card, stock market. But there are also new participant that I also mentioned late last year, from Rally to Otis. I think there's more, but there are big money as well as small money. Okay, there are new money that have small wallets, and then there are new money from deep pocket players. Okay, and it is kind of clear on which stuff both groups went after, right? Sure, are there new individual collectors, investors that are new to this hobby that went in and bought Amazing Fantasy 15 or Giant Size X-Men 1? Possibly. Okay, not every new participants, individual participants, are small wallet player that focus on the modern books or even go up to say Spider-Man 300. But to see the Copper Keys and the Modern Keys Star Wars books went through the decline that we have witnessed in the past 3 to 4 months says a lot about where those new participants have been. Maybe they have left, or maybe they're still here, but there are not enough new participants to push things higher. Okay, so as always, it's not one thing. Not there is never a whoosh of new participant. Okay, not that every new participant left this market at the same time, but the combination of some people leaving for whatever reason, they went back to work, they find a better place to put their money, who knows, in addition to less people coming in. So when you have that kind of current, you see a decline in those market. Now in the high-end market, the big Silver Age keys, Golden Age keys, even Bronze Age keys, high grade, those have held up pretty good. As always, there are exceptions to the rule. If you follow my market recap, certainly books like Spider-Man 129, First Punisher, has not done as well compared to say Hulk 181, which have rebounded here and there. Okay, this market is very inefficient. We can talk about Hulk 181 9.8 or 9.6 hitting all-time high, and then in the same auction we can see an 8.5 not do so well. Okay, so keep in mind, it's never the same for every grade, for every book. Okay, there's always inefficiency in the marketplace because that's just the way this hobby is. It's not a very big hobby. Okay, it's not. For any given book, especially on the high end, you may only have 3 to 4 bidders, sometimes even less. So it's very difficult to take the result of one book and think that will apply to every single book as you go down the grade. It doesn't work that way, not in this hobby. Okay, the fact that those books, the Silver Age keys, the Golden Age keys, the high grade bronze, have held up for the most part, tell me that the big money, the deep pocket new players, the Rally, the Otis, are still in the market. Okay, because if investor put money there, replenish their wallet, they have purchasing power to keep buying more for their inventory, right? Because if you put money, hand your money to Otis or Rally or buy their shares, well, They got to do something with that cash, buy more, right? So that's drive the demand for those books. Thus, it still maintain many of those big books in a high level compared to say Star Wars or Spider-Man 361 or Spider-Man 300. Those books has not done so well, even if the movie is going to be a good movie, right? Usually you see books fizzle right around the time when the movie came out, but those books has fizzled long before Venom 2 is in the theater. So that's something different that I think many people that have been in this hobby for a long time have not seen. Usually you see a steady rise all the way until the trailers and then the premiere, and then you see the crash, right? Not this time. You see the parabolic move 6 months ago, back in March, back in April, and it has been a downswing since then. I think it has par out, like flatline the last few weeks, but it was a pretty steep decline for many of those books. The good news for the non-investors, collectors that just like to own, buy books, buy non-keys, the good news is that those books have held steady. They didn't go up a lot and they didn't crash. If you follow the market for non-keys, even Steven kind of, so sure, some books went up a little bit. There's always a demand for high grade non-keys, okay? That's where I tend to play as far as flipping, because if I can find non-keys, high grade, Silver Age, by high grade, I mean 8.5 to 9.4 for cheap, the demand is there for those books because they're not very expensive. And if I can find something for a reasonable price, I can make 2 or 3 times my money. They tend to sell fairly well. I'm rarely surprised at the result at any of the auctions that I participate in with Comic Link in the past 4 months. Okay, the result has been on par with many of those books. So that area is still okay because they didn't go crazy. Those books did not go crazy. So for now, I think that market, that segment of the market is doing fine because new money didn't come, new money didn't leave. Okay? The big keys, yeah. That I will watch because as long as the new deep pocket players, participants have money, have inflows, to continue to go out there and buy the supplies, those books will stay up. What I'll be watching is, for whatever reason, when they start selling, okay? Because if the buyers, if those new buyers are the people that drove up the price, when they dump, if they dump, who are going to be the one replacing them? Not me, okay? Not a lot of people that sold to them. We might return and buy back those books a lot lower than what they paid this year or late last year. So as far as flipping, investing, speculating, that's always going to be with me. So I will watch the market to see if and when there is a crash in those books, because when they sell, if they are forced to sell because investors take the money out, they don't have a choice, okay? That's how that marketplace works. If a deep pocket investors that put a lot of money into those services, Rally, Otis, decide to say, guess what? I want my millions back because I have a better place to put my money. They are going to have to sell. And when that happens, we will see a whoosh in those big keys. I could be wrong, but I will be ready with both hands to catch the whoosh. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.